Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. So yeah, title of this video is I've got nothing to tell you. And truth is, I've got stuff to tell you, but I'm going to do a little bit of a talking heads video with you. This is my head and it talks. Put the kettle on first, pause the video, grab yourself a cuppa, we'll sit down and we'll have a chat. New rug, new curtain. Da -da 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 -da. It is a glorious sunny day. Awesome, so we are getting some solar in. What I mean by there's something to say, there is stuff to say, but it's gotten to that point as a van lifer and somebody that makes videos. I wouldn't say I was an influencer as such. I do the videos because I enjoy doing it and I like sharing stuff with you guys, and it, you know, and the people I've met through it and all that stuff, you know, whatever. But I've said this before, and we call it van life, but what it should be called is just life. So it does get a bit boring. There's nothing going on apart from my brakes were fixed and my lights were fixed. Thank you, Danny boy, you legend. I've got problems with my distributor cap, which I had last winter, so we're going to probably do that. And slight upgrades to the van. There's nothing really to talk about, Grace. There's nothing going on. All the upgrades have been done that we're going to do so far. There is some plans to do some more, but silly things anyway. As van life in itself goes, it's pretty the same. 3 years on, more or less, and still loving it. We haven't been abroad yet, so we haven't experienced what it's like abroad, but we are planning to go abroad this year, so we'll take you along to that as well. We don't know where yet. There's some places we'd like to go in the van, and also some places without the van, but more on that later. Van life in the UK is not as hard as people might think it is. We've never had an issue finding somewhere to park. Now sometimes, quite a lot of the time, you can't necessarily park in a nice spot. The nice spots have mostly gone. You know, there is some out there, but there's restrictions in, there's height barriers in, for obvious reasons, but there is always somewhere to park. We've never had an issue, never had any problems with anybody, but we do keep moving around. We don't stay in one place for too long, 2 days at the tops most of the time, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes just one night, but we do kind of visit the same kind of things. Anyway, I've said all this before. So one thing I did read the other day was people moaning about van life YouTubers selling out. All they do now is sell products and blah 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 and all that kind of thing. Now this isn't a big channel. You can see this is not a big channel. This is not my only channel either. I don't know who they are. This isn't my only channel either. I've got 3 channels actually. This is one of the channels. I've got a bigger channel and I've got a much smaller channel. This is in the middle sort of thing. And occasionally, yeah, I do get offered products, and yeah, I'm going to take those products. I'm going to take that free power station that's worth £700. Of course I'm going to. Who wouldn't, right? It doesn't mean I'm selling out necessarily, but the requirement of me taking that power bank or whatever it might be, and I've done a few product reviews on this channel, is that I have to do a video on it. Now, it doesn't mean I can't be honest about that product, and I have always been honest about the products, but I will do a video on it, and I'll say exactly what I think about it. And 9 times out of 10 I'll sell that product because I don't want it, but I get a little bit of income from it. So the time that's spent making these videos and doing that kind of thing, I get a little bit of reward for, right? Well, it's my time, so why not? Now people moaning about it and saying, oh, you're selling out, blah blah blah. I know some of the bigger channels, yeah, they do. You got to put it this way, I was a musician for 30 years. It started off as a hobby, and then it became a part-time income, and then eventually it became a full-time income. It was never my intention in the beginning, apart from the fact I wanted to be a rock star, to do that, but it kind of happened naturally, and opportunities were put in front of me and I took them and I did it. And then eventually I had a nice long career as a working gigging musician, and up until the last couple of years I really enjoyed it, and I did original music and I toured, I did all the stuff. It was great. And it's no different You know, you start off your YouTube channel for fun, because it's cool making the videos, and you build a community and all that kind of thing, and then you get monetized, and then you make a little bit of money, and you think, oh, this is all right, and then you get offered some products and make some more money, and then and so on and so on. So then that hobby then becomes a side hustle. This is what this is like for me, really. It's a bit of a side hustle, even though I don't take it all that seriously. It's a little bit of a side hustle. I'll get a little bit of diesel money out of it, you know, but it could grow into an income. Now, the bigger channels, I'm not going to name anyone in particular, that's their living. It's now become their living. So they do go off and travel, and they get sponsored to do this and sponsored to do that, and they have to put the products out there to earn an income to enable them to do it. I know some people don't like it. Personally, I don't see an issue with it. You can always just not watch the video if it's a product review. And I do find when I do product reviews on this channel, the views are a lot lower than when I just do a normal video of whatever. Bottom line is, if I get offered a product, I'm going to do a review on it, as long as it's worth it. I have been offered some stuff and I've been like, nah, that's just pointless. And the same goes for my other channel, which is my guitar music channel. And I have some like actual sponsors for that now, and I'm working with them and pushing their products. But again, I am able to be honest, and that's the deal I've got with them. You send me your products, fine, I'll review it, but if I don't like it, I'm going to say. So it's honest, and so it's useful for the people watching, right? Another thing that came up recently was I was asked a question about leisure batteries, and I've gone on about leisure batteries in the past and what our setup is and all that kind of thing. We have quite a substantial setup in here, 700 amp hour of lithium, and the solar soon to be 1,000 watts on the roof, which is quite decent. And I got asked the question along the lines of, this person was saying, I have two 110 amp hour lead acid batteries, and fully charged will only run my 900 watt heater for 5 minutes. Yeah, so in a nutshell, when you've got lead acid batteries, you can only use 50% of the power anyway. So 210 amp hours is basically, you've got 110 amp hours, and a 900 watt heater, electric heater, is going to eat through that like no business. So yeah, 5 minutes is probably about right. And your batteries are a little old. They did say their batteries were a little old, so they're not going to be as efficient. I wouldn't dream of running an electric heater whatsoever in here. Go diesel heater. That's the answer to that for your heating. It's the best way. It's undisputed that diesel heater is the cheapest and the easiest and the best way to do it. That's why so many people have diesel heaters, right? There is others. You can get gas ones as well and stuff like that, and log burners, of course. A log burner would be good. We would have a log burner in here, but we can't fit one in here. There's lots of people out and about today because it's sunny for a change. As far as our power goes, we've been off-grid. I say off-grid. I said we haven't had to plug in shore power for over a week now. We're getting a little bit. We're all right. We're sort of tittering. I'm just looking at the numbers. Yeah, we're sort of tittering around about 30% at the moment. So we will have to go and plug in somewhere. It's just the time of year. It's January. The days are short. The sun is out, but it's low. So the solar's you're only getting like 10%. Maybe 15% at midday, so it's not going to do its job very well. That's just the name of the game. So we will have to go and get power from somewhere. In other news, if you are a follower of this channel, you may recall that back end of last year, roughly middle of summer, whatever, we started doing our little side hustle business called Dinky Sinks and Things, and we made some sinks, which we have in this van. This kind of thing, which is a melamine sink, and we make these, and we sold quite a few of these. We basically sold most of what we made. Still got 3 left in stock, but I haven't been pushing them through the winter, and we kind of put a pause on it because we want to do it, I wouldn't say better, but we want to do it, expand it and make it something. And we needed to get our workshop set up, which we now have. If you might have seen that. So I now have a workshop and a decent lockup which I can use, which has got all the tools out and benches, and I can build guitars as well, because I do that. That's my other channel. I build guitars and things like that. Come on to that in a minute. So Dinky Sinks and Things is going to be picking up momentum again. We're going to be doing more sinks. And somebody did ask me actually on the comments, today that they liked our sync and where they could get it. So we make them. And my other channel, my biggest channel, which is my guitar channel, it's just under my name, Brent Hutchinson, is my music channel. But like I said, I build guitars and I repair guitars and all that kind of stuff. And alongside that, I run a charity called Guitars for All, where we donate guitars to people that need guitars. And there's lots of reasons that people need guitars, and it has been on hold for a little while whilst we were settling into van life. So now we're going to get back into it again. A couple of years ago, when we were in full swing with Guitars for All, we did things like we sent a guitar to someone in America who was a victim of a flood. They were living in a trailer, and their trailer got swept away in this flood. He was a musician, and all his music gear was in it, gone. He managed to borrow some gear and source some stuff like that, but he really needed a guitar. And so I got chatting to him, and he told me what he wanted, and so we did a GoFundMe and we sent him a guitar, and it's brilliant. I've got a Facebook page for that, and you can actually see him on there. He's on the Facebook. He let me put some pictures up of that. We sent another guitar to a guy in Texas who was in an old people's home, and he had no family. He was lonely, and he used to play guitar, and he didn't have a guitar. And one of my subscribers actually hoofed the guitar to the old people's home for him, and that was also done through a GoFundMe. And I've done loads of stuff in this country as well, and I've given guitars to people for all kinds of reasons. So our lock-up work area space has a dual purpose, so it would be dinky sinks and things, and Guitars for All as well as I do reviews of gear and things like that, and I have a few sponsors that send me stuff on there, which is pretty awesome. So travel plans for this year, obviously we will be doing I'll say our usual. We'll be heading out around the country. We want to do Scotland. We haven't done Scotland yet. We've done plenty of Wales. We want to go to North Wales, and we will probably do a Haven site there because we've done a few of them last year. If you do them off season, you can get them really cheap. And so we might do like North Wales and then head to Darlington, where Tracy was made, see her family, and then maybe we can head to Scotland. We'd love to do Scotland this year. I'm a little bit dubious about it in this old girl, but I'm sure it'll be fine if we plan it properly. And like I said, also we want to go abroad, so that will mean getting on the ferry, probably going to France, and then we don't know, we're not undecided where we want to go, but we're going to do something. I'm also going to get the van weighed, which I should have done a long time ago. I'm a little bit scared about that, but anyway. And the upgrades to the van, I want to change a couple of the skylights, repainting some bits and bobs. I mean, there's not a lot really to do in the van. I'm going to put some new tyres on it because it's been a few years, full service. Other than that, I don't really know, to be honest. We'll find out as we go along. Things do tend to change. I might do something with the bed because over the years, because we've got a bed that comes down from the ceiling up here, and I've made it out of wood and bed slats, and it's kind of bowed a little bit over the years. So I'm either gonna put a plywood base on it, take the slats out and put a plywood base in there, which should make it more rigid, put holes in it obviously, so for ventilation. Or you can buy an aluminium frame which actually goes with the motor, which is designed for it, but I would have to cut it down slightly because this is a slightly shorter bed. It's the same width as a double bed, but it's 10 centimeters shorter to fit in the gap. Or I was thinking maybe I could put like a metal bar across the middle to take the dip out. I don't know. There's plans for that. Other than that, I mean, Grace is pretty there, to be honest. Oh, I do intend to get rid of the bobble crap heater that I've got in here. Sorry, I hate it. The Bobble Van's water heater, diesel heater, heat exchange setup is just a wind up. So I intend on getting that out maybe this year. At the moment it's working, so I'm going to leave it alone, but it's just temperamental, should I say. So yeah, basically van life is going okay. Alright, it's better than okay, more than okay. We've got no plans to be going back to a house or anything at the moment. Absolutely loving it still. I sit here and I just love my van. I love my space. It's all mine. Well, it's all ours, and we're really comfortable in here. People say, you must be freezing. Nah, on the contrary. Is that a word? Contrary? Contrary. On the contrary. No, not at all. We've got everything we need. Van life is about learning how to juggle stuff and a little bit of forward planning. You know, planning your water. We did run out of drinking water and had to go to Tesco this morning at 6 o'clock this morning because we didn't have any water to make coffee. But it's little things, you know. It's like just forward planning, making sure you've got your water, your power, and, you know, your diesel for your diesel here and all that stuff. I mean, England isn't a massive country to travel around anyway. And like I said, there is plenty of options for parking. I'll maybe do another video on that if people are wanting to know about parking, if you're thinking about going into van life and you're worried about where you're going to park and all that kind of thing. My advice is, if you're thinking of doing van life, do it. It's cool. You'll soon pick it up, honestly. And another thing as well, people have said about our old van, it's 37 years old, I think now. It's not a Talbot, but it's a Fiat Ducato, but it's the same. Talbot Express, whatever. And people are concerned about buying a van like this because of parts. I've never had a problem getting parts for this van. A lot of the parts you can still buy it, like Euro car parts and GFS and stuff like that. Not a problem. Got the brake pads from there. The distributor cap will be coming from there. But other stuff, there is places like Talbot Mania, which is just popped up in Wales. There's Black Bottom Campers, if you can search them out on Facebook, which deal with a lot of Talbot Expresses and vans like that. And also Coastal Motorhomes. And that's just to name a few. And even if you just go on eBay and stuff like that, you can find parts. I've had no problems finding any parts. So if you're thinking of buying a Talbot Express, Fiat Ducato, whatever, one of these, then do it, because there's plenty of them around, and there's still plenty of them on the road, which is testimony to how good they are, as long as they're looked after. It's like anything though, innit? Do your research if you're going to buy one. Make sure it's got good service history and all that kind of thing, you know? Then you can't go wrong. And yeah, I know my daughter's got a Talbot Express and she had loads and loads of problems with it, like with the clutch and the drive shaft and the blah, 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 and it goes on and on and on, the breakdowns. Yeah, it does happen. But then it happens to modern vans as well. If you look on YouTube at people's disasters, I'm not going to name the channel, but if you do follow van lifers on YouTube, you'll know a couple that are quite happy in their days, and they've had 2 engines blow up on their van. So, you know, and that's more modern van, much more modern van. So it does happen to modern vans too. Sometimes it's just bad luck, but there you go. Anyway, that's me out of coffee. That's the end of this video. Like I said, not much going on, but there's lots of plans for stuff to go on. So thank you everybody that has subscribed to the channel and that follows us and stuff like that. Thanks to all those people that bought us a coffee as well. Thank you very much. That wasn't one of them. And it's this part of the video, I'd like to play a little game with one of you. There's one of our lovely subscribers who pointed out that they try and play this little game with me that I wasn't aware of course, that when it gets to the end of the video, I always play the jingle, and they try and turn the video off before the jingle starts. So I want to play this little game, and I'm going to say this: thank you everybody, God bless you, and here is a jingle.
We'll ride these roads forever, side by side we'll chase the sweetest moments whispered in our little space. With laughter and loving every turn we take, this thing called amazing race, no chance we'll break.